Hold on to your hats, folks. We've got some electrifying news brewing in the stock market. Imagine a stock skyrocketing by a jaw-dropping 400% from its nadir just a few months ago, with experts now predicting all kinds of wild predictions for this defying stock. Yes, you heard that right, and it's none other than Palantir Technologies, the tech giant, stirring up quite the buzz in the face of a stumbling market that reacts to a tech behemoth like Nvidia. From monumental gains to strategic partnerships with industry stalwarts like Microsoft and Wendy's, Palantir's journey is the talk of the town. But just how sustainable is this upsurge, and what's driving such fervent investor interest? Let's dive in. Welcome back to Investocracy.
It's going to really crush a lot of businesses because for two reasons. One, it pen tests the underlying architecture. Because if you run an algorithm or an LLM on an architecture that actually doesn't work, or is crumbly or crispy, or somehow is only built for one use case, which is a lot of it won't work. It will also crush architectures because there'll be an inability on the LLM side or on the large language model algorithm to well, how do I create a barrier between them and my trusted network and the classified and non-classified? Also, how do I have a barrier between the algorithm or large language model and decisions that are ethical, involve ethics or norms, or I have to trust this before I shut down this plant, or I can't have everyone in every single office or every single hospital bed be of one demographic. And our business is built to do that. So the other thing about large language models and, quite frankly, algorithms is it's just really good for America because, first of all,
it's good for America because
it's while we struggle with imposing trust on it, and of course my company is in the business of that, and we have, I think, enormous advantages. If you try to do this in China or Russia, there are just too many things you're not allowed to research. The rules are going to be too stringent. They're not going to actually be able to build this. They're very far behind. The culture for building it is not exactly there. And then it's good for America because we have great allies in Europe, and we're just much quicker at adopting technologies.
We all talk about OpenAI, but obviously Google is trying to do this. Others are trying to do this. Is this kind of technology ultimately become a commodity? Or is there something very specialized about it?
Well, the large language model is a lot comes down to powering the consumption. So they're going to be very, very large language models. I think they are going to end up being somewhat specialized. But the real value, the part is going to be the intersection between your business logic, your business norms, or your laws and ethics, and large language models. And the people who get all those three are going to make money.
Palantir Technologies has been one of the most talked about stocks this year. Since hitting rock bottom at just under $6 in December 2022, the stock has soared by an astonishing 400%. You could say Palantir's stock is doing so well that it's making the moon look up in envy. As of August 2024, shares have ascended beyond the $30 mark, igniting fervent discussions among investors and analysts alike. But this meteoric rise hasn't been without its ebbs and flows. From July 2023 to February 2024, Palantir's shares fluctuated between $13 and $21, signaling market uncertainty and investor indecision. This consolidation phase, where prices leveled off, mirrored the market's mixed sentiments. March 2024 to August 2024 saw another period of consolidation between $20 and $29, further highlighting volatility. These stages of consolidation often serve as a breather before the stock potentially catapults to a new high. And that is the crazy thing that all the experts are predicting. Palantir is about to break to new highs never seen before for the company. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Palantir's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market. So click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. That said, back to the video.
What is Palantir's focus when it comes to its work with the U.S. government?
Well, there are two things we're working on. One is Palantir related, but arguably even more importantly, the U.S. Has every major provider of AI, which is in every other industrial revolution, you've had a just diversity of countries that have had the talent and the products. In this revolution, they're really all in America. So how do we get the U.S. government to use innovation from providers? Very few of these providers work closely or closely enough with the U.S. government. Now, in part, that's because many of these providers have had a somewhat timid view of helping the U.S. government. The Silicon Valley motto has been, I get rich, you get nothing. and they've obviously often extended that to the U.S. government. So my focus and our focus in D.C. is one, to basically embarrass other people in AI to work with the U.S. government. It's like, we're doing very well here. You should also get involved. To talk to legislators, to explain to them that way too few of our dollars are being spent on AI. Palantir is one of, I think, the first company since the 50s that has produced government products that are in high demand commercially. So how do we get more companies that have commercially available products, meaning products that are proven in a competitive environment, into the U.S. government? And how do we share knowledge? So that's the part that we're doing here. We have a lot of clients, many of which are sensitive, and they get to talk to each other here about what they're doing, what's worked, and what's not.
Breaking through the psychologically critical $30 barrier this August was no small feat, signaling growing investor confidence and buying momentum. Remember, this stock last held comfortably above $30 back in February 2021. It's almost like a stubborn cat, brushing against the $30 mark only to retreat quickly. Now, the million-dollar question on everyone's mind: is this breakthrough sustainable? Backing up this bullish sentiment, Palantir's recent financial performance paints a promising picture. The company reported a 27% year-over-year increase in total revenue for the second quarter of 2024, driven by an impressive 55% year-over-year growth in U.S. commercial revenue. Furthermore, its customer base expanded by 41% year-over-year, with a 7% increase from the previous quarter. As CEO Alex Karp aptly put it, "The growth of our business has been re-accelerating steadily, and we see an unprecedented opportunity ahead to capture and build on that momentum." But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Dan, the Messi of AI. I mean, that's a tall order right there.
I think that's really what Karp's built. And in my opinion, it's still undiscovered as just a broader AI play, which is why I believe they're the Messi of AI. I think there's a golden path right now for them to monetize what we view as potentially $1 trillion market opportunity. And I think investors still have not recognized what this golden goose could be.
Yeah, I mean, as we just mentioned, the stocks moved pretty ferociously here in the last couple of months and since the start of the year. When you think about some of these newer AI applications in real time, they're already being applied on the battlefield. Case in point, Ukraine. Palantir is a key example of that. Do you think this is a situation where investors don't fully understand what this company does because so much of it is defense tech? And yes, I realize it's expanding out to the commercial side too, but there's a lot that they can't talk about, for example.
Well, I think that's the biggest misperception. I can tell you, we're talking to many in the 202 area code. The reputation of Palantir speaks for itself in terms of, any sort of operations, three-letter agencies. Now, if you're an enterprise CIO, and this is the conversations I've had, you're looking toward AI platform approach, Palantir is potentially the first call. And that's why I think in this AI gold rush, what I view as the fourth industrial revolution, of course it's Nvidia, Microsoft top of the mountain with Nadella. You look at second, third, fourth derivatives, right now Palantir front and center. And that's why I think this is a stock. You look at our bull case model, I think this is ultimately $25. And I think as they execute, more investors start to look at it.
Bolstering its credentials further, Palantir has been forging critical alliances. It recently announced a partnership with Wendy's Quality Supply Chain Co-op to enhance digital transformation and AI adoption. This collaboration aims to revolutionize decision-making processes and streamline supply chain management through Palantir's cutting-edge artificial intelligence platform. Then, there's the game-changing advancement with Microsoft, unveiled just this Thursday. The integration of Microsoft's large language models via Azure OpenAI service within Palantir's AIP offers unparalleled cloud, AI, and analytics capabilities for the U.S. defense and intelligence community. Shyam Sankar, Palantir's CTO, highlighted the significance, stating, "Bringing Palantir and Microsoft's capabilities to our national security apparatus is a step change in how we can support the defense and intelligence communities." Analysts, too, have reacted favorably. Following the company's robust quarterly results, several analysts have adjusted their price targets upward, providing an added lift to Palantir's shares. This surge in analyst confidence is a clear indicator of Palantir's growth prospects and market validation. Amidst all this action, Palantir touched a new high of $32.08 after the closing bell on August 16th, trading up by 2.75%. The stock's resilience and its ability to hover around this crucial psychological level have left investors wondering whether the next target of $40 and potentially $45, its all-time high in January 2021, is within striking distance. Yet, as with all stocks, the market is fraught with uncertainties. A reversal could be lurking around the corner, so stakeholders must stay vigilant and monitor Palantir's performance closely. Will it maintain its upward trajectory or fall prey to another temporary spike? Only time will tell.
There is a meme stockiness to Palantir, too. I'm wondering how much of that factors into your calculation there,
Yeah,
too.
no doubt. I mean, there's a huge retail presence.
Right.
And I think this is one where maybe retail has been ahead of institutional in terms of understanding the actual potential AI story. I can tell you my conversations today, it's really institutional investors being like, okay, what am I missing in this story? Where is the actual total addressable market opportunity? And can they go from government to commercial? Because I think when you start to look at that, for them is really the opportunity. And if you're a CIO of an enterprise, there's no better reference accounts than those in the 202 area codes.
But what does that look like? I mean, if you think about it, okay, so it's very opaque what they're doing on the military side of it. I'm just curious, what does that look like on the commercial side? Like, what are you seeing there? And especially, I know they're growing some clients and so forth. What are you seeing there?
I'd say from a platform approach, in terms of scale, and in terms of actual use cases, they're probably the first call. I think they're probably in this market the purest AI play out there. Now, they built it, others are coming, but it just speaks to our view. In this fourth industrial revolution, Palantir is going to be a big player.
The first time I ever heard a major company say machine learning came from Palantir.
Yeah.
In conclusion, Palantir Technologies offers an exhilarating prospect for investors. The stock's resurgence past the $30 mark, coupled with robust financial performance and strategic partnerships, signals a tantalizing potential for further growth. August 2024 has been particularly kind to Palantir, with the stock closing at $32.08 and catching investors' eyes. As it stands, the forecast looks optimistic. Analysts have lifted price targets, and Palantir's recent collaborations with industry giants only heighten its appeal. The path to $40 and beyond seems promising, but caution and vigilance remain paramount. So, what do you think of Palantir's remarkable journey? Could this be a golden opportunity for investors, or is there more turbulence ahead? Chew on that and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Palantir have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.